You want to build a multi-page setup for your CRM card? No problem. Do it. You want to build like a ton of advanced form features? Go do it. Form validation on the fly? Do it. Some awesome stuff.
With the React version, we got a POC up in a day. It was great because we could hit the ground running and build out an interface quite quickly.
It's not a clear picture. When we are going to the React, it will really help for each sales rep to understand how much revenue happening for each product level, not the category level.
This sort of like brings the historical dimension into HubSpot, which we've been missing. The people who know about it, their reaction has typically been, oh, wow, this is great.
Welcome. Oh, okay. Wow. All right, that was it, we're gone. We're done. Welcome to our session, Grow Better with CRM UI Customization. We're so excited to be here with you today to show you what our teams have been working on, and also for how you can harness the power of our new features. As you just saw in this video, your options are now limitless, which is important because each and every one of your businesses is unique. To prove that point, why don't you raise your hand if you think your business is unique? Okay, well, have more confidence. Theoretically, everyone was supposed to raise their hands. So pretend you did, because remember, everyone is unique, just like everyone else. No one ever laughs at that joke. I think it's funny, but. Let's start with a question. What if you could build the CRM of your dreams? Now, maybe you don't dream about CRMs the way we do. We do it for our job. But imagine if you could see your data exactly the way you want it to. That's exactly what we're trying to do at HubSpot. HubSpot is pairing powerful customization with that ease of use that you know and love us for, resulting in a solution that scales with your growing business. Ease of use is baked into our DNA. So even as we increase in our complexity, we want to maintain that. But we realized that we can't possibly build every single thing that you all need, which is why we want to give you the keys to drive that customization yourselves. My name is Katherine, and I'm a product lead on the CRM product team with our CRM product. And I've been at HubSpot for 3 years now, purely focused on this mission. How do I turn HubSpot into an out-of-the-box solution, into a truly customizable platform? And I even have a personal connection with this work. My dad is a small business owner. And when he found out I was joining HubSpot, he gave it a try. And if you have an Asian parent, you know they like to give feedback. And so he immediately gave me feedback and said, I don't like it. And I said, why? And he said, well, I don't want the timeline here. I want to see my properties. Why can't I see what I want? And so at the time, I was like, thanks for the feedback, Dad. Stop embarrassing me. But when I talked with more of you all, I realized he was right. And now I spend a lot of my time thinking about that problem. So believe me when I say, I do truly and deeply care about this work, and I thank each and every one of you for showing up today. With that, I'll hand it over to my co-presenter. Oh, thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sejal Parikh. I work as a product manager, too, on developer product group inside HubSpot. I've been working with the industry for like 18 years in different roles. I've changed different careers, lastly being product management. For the last 7 years, I've focused on CRMs and e-commerce platforms, mostly in the space of developer experience. And I personally love working in this space because I get to work with builders and innovators, and I get to see everything that they build, and that keeps me going to come to work every day. This is my first time at INBOUND. Anybody here in the same boat coming for the INBOUND for the first time? Wow, so many of you. I'm not alone. Woo, so how is it going so far? Amazing? Energizing? Yeah? Yeah. You know, I've been working with HubSpot for 1.5 years now. And this year, I can say without doubt, is the most exciting year for me and my team. And that is because we have unlocked some deeply powerful capabilities inside our platform. to help our customers grow better. Grow better, yes. In HubSpot, we believe in helping our customers grow better. But growth sometimes comes with its own challenges. And one of the biggest ones that we see is that operations are becoming more complex. They are becoming more sophisticated. There is more data to work with. There are so many teams to coordinate with. There are so many systems to integrate. And then there is complex processes to work with. Raise your hands if you are feeling this pain of growth yourself too. Yeah. And this can get so overwhelming so fast. In fact, you heard Andy Petrie, our CPO, talk about disconnected point solutions at the spotlight. Our CEO, Yamini Rangan, has also talked about how disconnected systems can create the barriers to growth. And I see that firsthand. Sorry. I see that firsthand when I talk to so many of you who bend over backwards to connect the dots. It's like you're trying to piece together a really complex jigsaw puzzle that starts clicking when everything is coming together finally. Let's talk with an example. Anybody here working with manufacturing industry? Yeah, a lot of you. And what I see when I talk to people working in inside manufacturing industries as reps, inside these industries, they have to deal with so many complex and customized processes. We are talking about creating custom quotes, generating invoices, placing sales orders, processing payments, and then don't even get me started when you have to talk about inventory management or shipment management and whatnot. And on top of it all, if there is services involved, then you have to dispatch service professional, and you might jump into yet another tool. That's just not ineffective, not just inefficient. It's just exhausting to work with. In fact, research has shown that average company has to deal with number of apps that are as high as 242. And that's a lot to deal with, a lot to juggle with. And reps are finally the people who get the brunt of it. They are switching between different systems, often using many browser tabs just to complete one single task. And the time that gets spent in constant switching and context switching is the time that they're losing in chasing new opportunities. I'm one of those persons who opens millions of browser tabs and just stays there. Are you there? Are you that person too? Don't be ashamed. I'm there. Katherine is there. Dennis is there. And there's actually a term for it. It's called tab fatigue, and it's a very real thing. And that's where manufacturing industry we talked about is just one example. There are so many other industry examples that we can talk about. In this room itself, there are so many people. And if you look around, each one of you are working with different industry. Some of them are professional service industry. Show me your hands if you are. Good. There are people who are working with fintech, healthcare, pharma, real estate. So it's just one parameter, industry. But then you'll see so much of variety in that. Now if you add in geographical location if you're operating in, number of tools you're using, custom business processes you have, customized tool that you have created just in your company, just for your business. If you add in all of these, you will realize that if you look around and talk to your neighbor, they will have a unique problem to work with. And that's where one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't cut it. You need a platform that you can mold for your business goal, your business need, your processes, and not the other way around. You need a platform that is powerful, but not overpowering. And you need a CRM that you can make work for your business, not the other way around. Now, what if I told you that you could customize and bring all of your processes right inside HubSpot? The core of your business, your contacts, your companies, your deals, your tickets, and even custom objects. What if I told you that you could customize them so that your reps not only get the right data at the right time, but they're also getting the right action right then and there in one place? That means that there is no app switching. There is no juggling between apps. There is no switching between tabs. It's just everything in one place. And that, my friends, is the true power of CRM customization. They're changing the whole game. And we'll talk about it today. So we are thrilled to launch 2 major public betas this year. The first one being CRM development tools that will help you build UI extensions with React. If you have used or worked with or even heard of CRM cards, you can think of these UI extensions as CRM cards on steroids. They are immersive. They match with your rest of the HubSpot. They are interactive, and they are dynamic. And with React as front end, the limit to what you can build is just shrinking. And then you can build this with really powerful extensibility, but at the same time, you can also have easy-to-use, seamless, and delightful developer experience. That makes it not just powerful, easy-to-use platform. Another major beta that we're going to talk about is CRM Record Page Editor. This is a powerful, no-code tool that you can use to customize your record pages and keep your reps focused on what matters the most for their life and business. Yeah. Together, you're getting the platform that you can make it work for yourself. You don't need to work to match the platform. It's yours. And Katherine will take us to the rest of the journey and more.
I need the clicker. Yeah. Thanks, Sejal. It's really hard to anticipate what you're going to clap for, but I like it. In our practice, we don't have that. So at this point, you might be wondering, what even is CRM UI customization? You might have even noticed that we tweaked the talk title. So I promise you're in the right place. It's not like college where you're afraid you're in the wrong class and you got to run out. But we wanted to broaden it a little bit more because you heard this term smart CRM a lot. And in the keynote, you heard about how the smart CRM is the foundation of your platform. Now, usually when you heard it, it's in the context of AI. And I promise we're not going to talk about AI too much today. But we are going to talk about the people side of that equation. How are you setting up your smart CRM and your teams for success? That's where UI customization is a powerful combination of two things. There's configuration, which is modifying the existing HubSpot default UI. Things like your record pages, your board, your index views. And even now, you can already do that and configure it by team, pipeline, or even sometimes at user level. Because you want to make sure that you're only showing your teams the most relevant information. Most of the time, configuration should get you about 80% of the way there. But what about that last 20% that is truly custom to your business and HubSpot probably isn't going to build for you? At that point, that's when you have extensibility. Extensibility lets you build net new UI right within HubSpot. And what's really cool about it is that it looks and feels like HubSpot so that your users will have the most integrated, crafted, not cobbled experience. These custom cards let you show either your HubSpot internal account data, your external data like Google or Looker, even your homegrown system. And with our components, you get to determine what it either looks like or how you want to interact with it. And all of that happens right within HubSpot. And not only is customization good for your teams, it's also been shown to be good for your business and revenue. We found in our data and our research that our customers who customize their CRM see 3 times higher deal close rates and 1.2 times more likely to experience high company growth. What this tells you is that investing in your CRM is good for both your teams and your business. Let's dive into a case study to make this a little bit more concrete. Meet Breezy. Breezy was founded 5 years ago, and they sell smart thermostats directly to customers. This is a fictional case study, and that's only because we wanted to represent an aggregate of a lot of the things that we've heard from you all. But they were founded 5 years ago, and they sell directly to their consumers. They've been doing so well that they decided recently to expand into B2B. But for those of you in B2B, you know that businesses tend to have bulk orders, and so they want to be able to scale very quickly. And while they've been very, very happy with HubSpot, which they purchased 2 years ago, the Enterprise Suite, they want to make sure that they're rethinking their processes so that it can grow and scale with them to keep their teams working efficiently and effectively. They're facing a number of problems, though. The first, also, if you all want to clap, raise your hands if these resonate with you, although we shouldn't be clapping for problems, but do whatever you want. The first would be they want a quick customer overview. They want to be able to see all that information in one place. Would that be nice? Oh, okay. Thank you, I got a verbal acknowledgement. Okay, great. And so what's happening right now for them is that their teams are suffering from that tab and click fatigue. They're working across multiple systems, and they are cobbling all that data together, and it's not even in one place. It's probably on paper, if we're being honest, maybe Post-it notes. And so another one of their problems is they want better adoption of HubSpot. What's happening is, traditionally, the first team in gets to define what the CRM is like. So all the teams think, oh, did I hear a yeah? Okay, hopefully that was a yes. Okay, great. Salespeople. But it's a tool that we want to be for everyone. It's not just a sales tool. And so the reason this is important to Breezy for teams like their services team to adopt it is they want their teams working out of one place so that increases and improves their cross-team collaboration and handoffs. At the top of the very list, of the wish list, whenever we ask our, if you had a magic wand, what would you do with it question, they say they want better integration across all of their systems. Oh, that gets a clap, okay. Yes. This one resonates a lot because you want to keep your teams working efficiently. And so because they're a manufacturing company, they're working with a lot of things like an ERP, a shipment vendor, inventory management. And a lot of times their users are switching back and forth between the systems. And if they're like me, they have a pretty bad memory. By the time that tab is out of view, I don't even know what I was working on. So I'm going to do a live demo. Wish me luck. Oh, thanks. Okay, so I want to show you how we're going to use these new features we just talked about to solve all of Breezy's problems. Here we are on a company page called HubSpot. It's not HubSpot, it's HubSpot. And what you can see here at the very top is this brand new property list that lets you show up to 12 important properties front and center. This is exactly what my dad was looking for. Before, I had to scroll endlessly through the left sidebar, my hand's cramping up, I can't find what I'm looking for, but now we actually have it conveniently right here. And this is important because I can see important information like what time zone are they in, what's an appropriate time to reach out to them. Since you all have never heard of HubSpot, HubSpot is the largest provider of luxury spa services in the Northeast. I also see this note that this is my largest account, so I better treat them with care. And because they're in health, wellness, and fitness, that's how I know how critical my product is to giving their customers a really good experience. Here I can see the recent communications card. I can see up to 5 recent communications, so I can catch up really quickly on where I left off, and I don't have to go digging through the timeline. And this is our new association label list. This lets you see your important contacts up front, organized by your association label. I don't have to keep digging through my contacts over here and just hoping that the one I want to reach out to is at the top. Now I can put someone like the executive team front and center because that's important to me. Okay, so you might be thinking, yeah, this is great. We've seen this before, but the part I promised you is the custom part. So for my sales team, I want to create a custom revenue tab. I don't see it, but I want to create it. And because I've been promising you that ease of use, I'm going to show you right now, and we're going to create it together. Okay, everyone's like a little bit nervous. Okay, so I click this link right here. And what I can see is that either I can customize my default view or I pre-created some of my team views. I'm gonna go ahead and select sales. Okay, here is our brand new, powerful, yet simple to use page editor. From here, I can manage my tabs, I can manage my cards for the record middle column, more is coming soon. And what's really great is that this is now consolidated. If you remember, it used to be scattered across 4 different settings pages, and I had to edit each card individually, and that was really cumbersome. But now I can do it conveniently in one place. I promised you that tab, so let's go ahead and create it. I'm gonna call this revenue. Okay, if I go into this dropdown, this is our card library. And as I scroll, you can see that I can pick from either HubSpot default cards that are already pre-built, or what I'm looking for are my custom cards. So these are custom cards that I built with a trusted solutions partner, and I can pick them, so I'll do that. And I also want to show off how you can now easily create a brand new card with a no-code solution. By clicking here, you see all of the options that we currently have available. We are always working on populating more of these, but I want to show off our report card. So I know I want monthly revenue. Okay. This dropdown shows me all of my existing reports, pre-populated. It's an easy dropdown that all I have to do is select the one I want. I do that, and click Save. That's it. There it is. And I'm going to take a quick peek and rearrange this. I can just drag and drop. Perfect. I'll save and exit that. And I know what you all are holding your breath for, seeing what it actually looks like. So let's go back to the record. Okay, voila. So it loaded. Thank you. Okay, you can all let out that breath now that you've been holding for me. So at the top, now when I go to my sales team, my sales rep can not only look at this data, they can action it, and I'll show you how. So at the very top, I'm seeing these quick stats about how my account is performing. I can see I have an NPS of 9, which is great. They're very happy with us. Revenue is going up and to the right, and our executives always love that. I even had recent account or activity with them, contact with them, and that shows me that I have really good engagement with this account. As I scroll down, let me show you this beautiful report. So now I have this report right at my fingertips on this page, filtered down to the record that I'm on. Before, I would have to go into reporting, find the report I was looking for, filter it down to my account, all while losing the context of the record, but no longer. You have it right here. And so as a rep, I'd be scanning this, seeing how my revenue is doing, and actually, I'm a little bit light here in September. I mean, to be fair, the month only started, but I'm an ambitious rep. I'm going to see if I have a potential opportunity with them. Now, this, if you can believe your eyes, these are associated deal items for the product lines to the company record. And I actually built this entirely custom. This was the custom card that I built with my solutions partner. Because while I would love to have this out of the box from HubSpot, it's just not quite on their roadmap yet. And this was too important of an opportunity for my business to pass up, which is why I decided to build it myself. And what this allows me to do is I can now easily scan and see what I've already sold this account. Like I mentioned, I already have a bad memory, so when I was going before, I was right-clicking on my deals, I was trying to memorize what I sold them, not really remembering, and that was a lot of missed opportunity. But now, we can do this together. What I'm looking for is to see if I can see our top-of-the-line premium product. So as I scan this, I'm not seeing it. Shout if you do, but if you do, that's a bug, so. Okay, so with you all as my lucky charm, I'm gonna go ahead and call them up and see if I can close a deal. So, actually, I heard Gen Z doesn't know what this means anymore, so I'm gonna hold like this. Okay, all right. Awesome, so with you all here rooting me on, I was able to close a deal with them, and right here on the card, I can take action right away. So I can go ahead and add this deal, and I'm gonna mark this as closed one, and let me add in my line items. I was able to upsell them on about 50 of these. Okay, I'm gonna pause here for a second because I know that was a lot. I want you all to have a second to process it. If you want to applause now, you could. Thank you. Because what we just did here is huge. We took something that was once a very valuable but overwhelming page, we turned it into a very curated and purposeful page for our different teams. Now, I mentioned that this was mainly for sales, so I had mentioned we had this adoption issue with services. I want to show you one more thing where I'm going to go in and create an entirely different view for my services team. So let me go ahead and create that deal. Okay. What you see here is our brand new stage tracker. This lets you visually see how your deal is doing. And we even let you see 4 important properties right up here at the top, front and center. So while I know a lot of you have a good sense of what your pipelines are, what stage you're progressing at, this visually can show you how you're doing, as well as your managers who are looking over your shoulder. And here we have an association property list that can show you up to 12 important associated properties from a contact record, company, whatever you want in there. And this lets you see without having to have the other page open as well. It keeps you in the context of where you're working. Before, I had to go in here, look at my cards, and I was limited to only these 3. So now I have 12 right here for me. But I said I was going to do the services side. So the first thing that I did was create a separate pipeline for them. Now when sales closes a deal, they're going to go in and move it into the services pipeline. Okay, Great. I don't know if that chuckle means that's a bad thing, but hopefully that was a good thing. So in order to get an increased adoption, I thought, what is the biggest problem that my services team is struggling with, and how can I use these features to solve for that? Right now, they're really struggling with their shipment flow because it's causing them to bounce back and forth between a lot of systems. Right now, when they go in, they're going into look at their deal, see what the associated line items are. They memorize those, they go back to their inventory management system, have to check to see if the product is in stock. Assuming it's in stock, they then go over to their shipment system in yet another tab and create that shipment, and then even then, they're not quite done. They now have to go backwards and do that dual data entry to make sure that everything is in sync and reflective there. And that is a very manual and cumbersome process. And so I talked to my solutions partner, and I was like, is there a way to do this all within HubSpot? Answer is yes. Spoiler alert. And so what we did was we yet again built a very custom flow just for my business directly into my HubSpot portal. And so this card, what it's going to do is show you a very simple guided flow for how to do everything I just talked about, but from right here. I'll click create. Okay, and here I already auto-populated what my associated product line items are. Because this button is enabled, I know that my products are in stock. Because what's happening in the background is there's an API call that's checking my inventory management system. And so all of that is in sync. So I'll click add. Here I can look at my shipment information. So it's pulling in from both my shipment vendor and auto-populating some things. So my shipment title I'm going to leave as is. It's domestic. I'm going to go with UPS. And this already auto-populated the address for my associated company. And every second saved, very valuable. So I'm going to click next. I get this summary screen so I can scan and check to make sure everything looks right. It does, and I'll go ahead and click finish. Perfect. And so with this tracking link, this is telling me that my shipment got created in the system, and I could click that and go see it. But with this, it was just a few clicks. We took what was once a very manual and cumbersome and exhausting process and did it within minutes. And so now, with that, I've just showed you both the power and ease of use of our customization and how to use that to solve all Breezy's and hopefully a lot of your problems as well. With that,
Wow. Look at you all clapping. That was amazing demo, really powerful, right? I'm sure a lot of you are getting ideas that how do I go back and talk to my teams on customizing all of these pages and adding custom cards, hiring solution partners or developers, and building something out of it, right? That's good. But there was a lot. There was a lot packed into that demo. So I'm going to help you unpack a little bit, and then we'll talk about real use cases, some customer stories, and demos from our customers who has built something. So you saw Record Page Editor. Record Page Editor is a no-code, powerful editor or builder that helps you not just manage the tabs. That means add, create, delete, rename, reorder tabs, add more cards on that tab, and not just that, create the card right inside the HubSpot using UI. You saw Katherine creating custom cards with stage tracker, reports, association labels, association pivot table. All of that you can just build with clicks. And that is the power of this editor. But then you can also organize your custom card that you have built. And then you saw product lines card, shipments card, all of that are built, believe it or not, built by developers, not by HubSpot. We didn't do it. They are created using CRM development tools. There's a lot in CRM development tools, so we'll peek into that. They help you build UI extensions that enable you to interact and view the data from anywhere. Yes, anywhere, inside HubSpot, outside HubSpot, anything you want. But that is built with React as a front end and serverless functions as a back end. So think of that like compact, full stack, micro application that are embedded inside HubSpot. We picked React as a front end framework because we want to give you familiar and mainstream technology to get you started quickly. There is no special HubSpot-specific technology or skill set you need to get up and running to build on our platform. And then let's not forget, by plugging into the mainstream technology, you are also using the power of already active and vibrant ecosystem that React has to offer. So that's a win-win. You also saw that these cards are not just functional, they look like HubSpot. Yesterday, as the demonstration, one of our customers was not able to believe it. Like, really? You didn't build it? Yeah, we didn't build it. This is built by developers. Of course, in the demo, we built it. They are immersive. They look, feel, and behave like the rest of the HubSpot platform, because that's intentional. Because we believe that even when we enable developers to build custom experiences, we want the end users to have crafted experience and not a cobbled one. And that is possible with the growing library of components that we have released that is based on HubSpot's own design system. Then you saw Katherine adding cards which are based on UI, out-of-the-box CRM card, stage tracker, reports, association tables, and whatnot. All of that is also available to developers to use inside custom card as CRM data components. These components, if you use that, you can add more things to it, like customized filters for association tables that you won't do it on the UI, but you do it in the code. And they just don't understand CRM data. They also understand things like field validations, user permission, a lot out of the box. You don't have to use HubSpot API because they do the data fetching also on their own. And that saves not just hundreds of lines of code, but hours of work for developers. And then finally, we want to make sure that experience of building these cards itself is delightful. It doesn't feel like a chore that I have to do because somebody asked me to do it. So if you were in our beta and actually want to see, take a dare, how many of you were in a private beta? Raise your hands. I see so many hands, yes. If you were in beta, we released React for front end with a local development experience. And the biggest pain point that I kept hearing from customers was that debugging serverless function is too difficult. And that was something we heard you. That is something we released. Our answer was that full local development experience, not just for React for front end, but also app function, serverless function that you use, so that you can run entire card locally without having to upload to the account. Thanks. And those who are not developers, I'll summarize what it means for you, what it means for the developers. When they are coding in their machine, they don't need to do any upload to the HubSpot account. They can preview the output right then and there on the screen while they are coding live. And that just increases the pace at which they iterate. It just increases the time to value for them. So that was something we really got good feedback about. But then these are also hosted on HubSpot as well. So you don't have to go and find your own hosting platform if you don't want to. And there's a lot packed into this. For example, we have a full CLI support for the entire lifecycle of the extension that starts with creating the project, testing it locally, building and deploying, and much more. We have development sandboxes for isolated test environments, so you can test your extension before your real users are using them. And then we also believe that we want to meet developers where they are. And one important part of doing that is that we don't make you use something that is only you would use in HubSpot. We want you to be able to use what you are familiar with, one of which is source control system, and a popular one is GitHub. And you have the GitHub integration out of the box available in the platform. And lastly, everything comes together using one single homepage, one single navigation. So you have everything put together. You can look at things. Not just that, you can also have docs inside, code sample, and getting started experience and whatnot. This is what CRM development tools empower you to build. Now, shipment cards, or product lines cards, those custom cards that you saw in the demo are just some cards that we showed you. But with React as front end and everything that we have added in the toolbox, the possibilities of what you can build is practically endless. For example, one of the coolest things, thank you. One of the coolest things about my job is that I get to talk to a lot of customers and hear their problem. And these are some of the use cases we have been seeing. We have been hearing a lot about it. You want to have a complete picture of your customer across a lot of touch points, internal, inside HubSpot, or external. You want to have customized CPQ process. We saw that with the manufacturing example. And that also involves custom code processes, ERP integration, and more. For those who are working on SaaS and PLG, you want product analytics right inside HubSpot. And those who are in real estate, automobile, you want the booking systems. And you don't want your reps to go into the systems that you use for booking outside of HubSpot. And then there are cases where we see that, and I think a lot of you would have that problem as well, that you end up building a tool that you really need for your business internally that is not available anywhere outside. So you can't use marketplace apps as well. And they're so customized, so internal, bespoke tools, and you don't want your reps to go into those tools and have to deal with them. And that also you can bring inside HubSpot now. So give your reps one window to everything to run their business. And those in professional services would want to bring the project management inside HubSpot as well. It'll be a dream come true. So there's a lot. There's a lot of you can do. But we have some other use cases that our customers have built. Take funnel, for example. Anybody from funnel here? Yeah. I talked to them yesterday at the demo booth. And funnel wanted to use the cutting-edge generative AI. And wanted to we are talking about AI a lot this time, and they just used it. They didn't wait for anybody to build it. So funnel wanted to have an integration with Gong. They wanted to use generative AI to generate intelligent call summary and present that to their stakeholders right under their code page. And they did it with CRM extensions. And this, I'm told, that it directly improved the operation efficiency. Am I right? OK. Pivot. Another example is from Pivot. Carter is here. A lot of developer community knows Carter. He answers a lot of questions. Carter built this powerful extension that brought the entire flow of ordering swags or gifts to their contacts. That means that you can select an item to the cart, even use the size, and then finally make a payment and add more details like shipments and everything. He brought everything into the record page. And look at how interactive and beautiful record page extension he has built. Carter is here. You can talk to him about his experience afterwards. And then finally, we have solution partners, Cloud Nova. I met someone from Cloud Nova today before this talk. Yeah, Alessandro. So Cloud Nova built an extension for their client. And what that does is that brings the templating system for product line. They have an additional templating system, product line. And they want to configure deals using this predefined template they have. And how they did it is that they also use HubDB. Yes, you can make it as complex as you want. So they stored the templates in the HubDB and put it on the extension. Like I said, possibilities are endless. But don't take my word for it. You should hear directly from one of our customers who used full power of CRM customization to build UI extension and a record page editor and use that to solve their business problem. Colin Johnson and Killian Johnson from Viewrail will talk about their experience over here.
My name is Colin. I am the Revenue Operations Specialist here at Viewrail.
I am Killian. I do RevOps development here.
We are a custom stair and railing manufacturer here in northern Indiana in Goshen. So we make everything from modern floating stairs, glass railing, cable railing, rod railing, traditional wood stair parts. We do everything in between, and we sell it, we design it, we engineer it, we manufacture it, we ship it, and we install it. So I was really excited about this, along with the cards, the ability to create those custom tabs, being multi-brand, multi-team, people in HubSpot needing to view different things quicker, being able to customize and create tabs, not just a single custom tab, but adding extras, naming them. The biggest team was our field service management team. They manage all of our installs, working with our outside contractors. They needed a place to quickly get that information and not scroll through, scrub through, and like click, 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 click. It was one click, one look, I can see what's happening. They are all so excited to realize that their job just got easier. That's probably our most advanced custom card, is what we use for our installers right now. So a little bit of how we use it. So we have contractors in our system. They're labeled as a contractor. So we're using association labels on the record. We use a custom record for our installs. that's attached to deals and tickets. And what they have is the installer checklist. And that's the custom tab. And then on that page is 2 custom cards. One that is a list view that shows green or red if something's accurate, and they can click on the red and it pops open and shows, hey, what do you need to fix? You can correct it right here. So they can go down the list. And then we push an API call to a mobile app that sends the install to the installer, just like Uber, and says, do you want this install? So they manage it right in HubSpot. So that was like huge for them. Onboarding is much easier, and even just the workload, the ability to scale. So one human being able to make phone calls, we could get 2 to 3 installs a day. With this system, we could theoretically get thousands.
I think our first card was the checklist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there was already a lot of good documentation. There was a lot of good information on the internet for React. And it was really easy to jump into a project and go, oh yeah, I can use these tools. The CLI environment is really nice. And then now the Git integration to be able to just say, oh yeah, this is my development branch, just pull that into the main and then it automatically builds when I'm ready. It is light years better, both in configurability and in being able to do the things that I want to and that I need to be able to give a product that's really good for our salespeople, that they can use easily, that reduces clicks, that lets them have the information that they need, displayed in a format that is really concise and clear. So everything has been really super, just really, really good. Being able to quickly type something in and then see the change immediately when you're rapidly developing and prototyping some sort of layout, that is so nice.
I am so excited for what custom cards mean, because it allows me to create a portal in my HubSpot instance that is focused on Viewrail.
Yeah. You're all clapping for Colin and Killian, who are in the audience as well. You can catch them and talk to more about their experiences. They've been with us for an entire journey, and you can see the outcome here. For us as PMs, this is the most fulfilling part of our job, hearing success stories of yours. So that's a wrap. We have a couple of CTA. We won't be done without that. Everything that you saw is available for public beta. So you should go to product updates and betas and opt in there. We have a lot more information, including the case study of Viewrail, demos, and everything. And we'll put out a lot of recordings as well on a dedicated landing page for CRM customization. The link is here. You can scan the QR code if you want, and you will find more information there. We had 2 sessions dedicated entirely for developer experience part of it that we didn't touch upon today. You should catch up with the recording. This is the 3rd session that is dedicated to extensibility and customization, but we are not done. We have one more. That is a fireside chat by Brian Gorbett and Scott Blinker happening at 1:30 at the Hero Stage. And finally, your feedback for everybody who has been in the betas with us. We are thanking you deeply. Your feedback has been very important. You should know that HubSpot product teams are always listening. We are hungry for it, hungry for what your thoughts are. So keep that coming. Thank you again. And we can take questions now.
Bye-bye.